Today's topic: classification and nomenclature of organic compounds. So, organic, the word organic signifies life. The word organic signifies life. And what is organic chemistry? According to old concept, the branch of science which deals with the study of carbon compounds is called organic chemistry, according to old concept. And modern concept, according to modern concept, organic chemistry is the branch of science which deals with the study of hydrocarbons and their derivatives. And what are hydrocarbons? The compounds which contains carbon and hydrogen are called hydrocarbons. So that is a modern concept. And first theory in organic chemistry is given vital force theory. Vital force theory. This theory was proposed by Berzelius. According to this theory, organic compounds could be produced only by living organisms, but not in the laboratory. They are not synthesized in the laboratory, but organic compounds are produced by only living organisms. That is vital force theory. But accidentally, urea was prepared by Ohler in the laboratory, and acetic acid is prepared by Kolbe in laboratory. So these two preparations in laboratory leads to the fail of this vital force theory. So here I am writing Ohler prepared urea and Kolbe prepared acetic acid. Now Ohler, how he prepared urea? I am writing here preparation of urea. Ammonium chloride is reacting with potassium cyanate KCNO. On heating gives KCl and NH4CNO, ammonium cyanate is formed here. Now this ammonium cyanate, I am taking here NH4CNO, on heating gives NH2C double bond O NH2. This is urea. This is urea. This is potassium cyanate. By the reaction of potassium cyanate and ammonium chloride on heating gives potassium chloride and ammonium cyanate. By using this ammonium cyanate on heating, we are getting here urea. So this was the first organic compound. Synthesized in laboratory. First organic compound synthesized in laboratory. This is first one. And second, Kolbe, he prepared acetic acid. And I am writing that here Kolbe acetic acid. How he prepared acetic acid? See here how acetic acid is prepared. Acetaldehyde CH3CHO. Acetaldehyde on heating with the element oxygen gives acetic acid CH3COOH, acetic acid. This is the first organic compound synthesized by elements, synthesized by elements. This is acetic acid. And next, Berthollet prepared methane CH4 and most abundant organic compound sucrose. Sucrose is the polymer of glucose. So these two compounds, laboratory, what are the compounds are prepared in laboratory? Urea. First organic compound prepared in laboratory is urea from the compound ammonium cyanide, and from elements first organic compound is acetic acid, and second organic compound from elements is methane. Large number of organic compounds are exist in nature. So reasons for the existence of large number of organic compounds in nature, I am writing here. Reason for large number of organic compounds. So reason for large number of organic compounds is the first reason, that is the most important reason, unique property of carbon. So this unique property of carbon is due to some reasons. First one, catenation. First one is catenation. The self-linkage of elements of same atoms to form long chains or rings is called catenation. Highest catenation property element in the periodic table is carbon, and second highest catenation element in the periodic table is silicon. So because of highest catenation property, the tendency of an element to form chains of identical atoms is called catenation. Because of catenation, more catenation property of carbon compounds, that is organic compounds, exist more in nature. That is the first reason. Second one, tetravalency of carbon. This tetravalency of carbon was proposed by Kekulé, scientist. So carbon forms 4 bonds, tetravalency of carbon. And third one is isomerism. The phenomenon of isomerism exhibited by organic compounds is the one of the reason to form more number of organic compounds. And fourth one, and strong multiple bonds formation. So carbon forms 4 single bonds, otherwise 2 single bonds, 1 double bond, otherwise 1 single bond and 1 triple bond. So carbon has ability to form multiple bonds like double bond and triple bond. This is also one of the important reason for the existence of large number of carbon organic compounds in the nature. So these are the reasons. Sources of organic compounds. We have 2 types of sources for organic compounds: natural naturally we are getting only 10% organic compounds, and synthetic 90% of the organic compounds we are getting synthetically. And naturally, how we get organic compounds? Plants, by the plants, animals, microorganisms, by the coal, we are getting naturally organic compounds by these sources. And synthetically, by the man-made, we get 90% of the organic compounds. So this is the sources of organic compounds. Now, general characteristics of organic compounds. First one, organic compounds are mainly composed of 10 elements. Organic compounds are composed of 10 elements. Mainly organic compounds are composed of 10 elements. That elements: carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, sulfur, phosphorus, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, and iodine. So organic compounds mainly composed of 10 elements: carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, sulfur, phosphorus, chlorine, bromine, and iodine. So these are the first point, characteristic properties of general characteristics of organic compounds. Next one is second one. We know that tetravalency of carbon. Tetravalency of carbon. Next one, organic compounds possess distinct color and odor. They possess distinct color, characteristic color and characteristic smell. And organic compounds readily burn in air. They readily burn in air. So these are the general characteristics of organic compounds. Organic compounds mainly composed of 10 elements: carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, sulfur, phosphorus, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, and iodine. Tetravalency of carbon. Organic compounds possess distinct color and odor. Organic compounds readily burn in air. So these are the general characteristics of organic compounds. Now, structure and bonding of carbon in carbon compounds. So, carbon structure and bonding in carbon compounds we are explaining here. The ground state electronic configuration of carbon. Our carbon atomic number we know 6. So ground state electronic configuration of carbon: 1s2, 2s2, 2px1, 2py1, 2pz1. So 2pz0. This is the carbon electronic configuration. The excitation electronic configuration of carbon becomes 1s2, 2s1. One electron jumps into pz orbital. 2s1, 2px1, 2py1, 2pz1. Now the energy of excitation. For the excitation of electron, how much energy is required? The energy of excitation is equal to 501.6 kilojoules per mole. This is the excitation energy of carbon. Now in all organic compounds, carbon undergoes sp, sp2 and sp3 hybridization. So carbon undergoes in organic compounds sp, sp2 and sp3 hybridization only. Three types of hybridization. Carbon undergoes three types of hybridization in organic compounds, that is sp, sp2 and sp3. So in organic compounds, carbon undergoes three types of hybridization: sp, sp2 and sp3 hybridization. And now we are giving here hybridization and orbitals involved, percentage of character of orbitals, nature of bonds, bond angle, orientation of orbitals. For example, first one we are taking sp3 hybridization. If carbon undergoes sp3 hybridization, which type of orbitals involved? 1 s orbital, 3 p orbitals are involved. And percentage of s character, 25 s character, and p character is 75. Nature of bonds, all are sigma bonds. No pi bonds. Bond angle is 109 degrees, 28 minutes. And orientation of orbitals, tetrahedral. Orientation of orbitals is tetrahedral. Now second one we are taking sp2 hybridization. 1 s orbital, 2 p orbitals, and s character is 33.3, p character is 66.6. And here in sp2, here we are given all are sigma bonds, but here 3 sigma bonds, 1 pi bond. 3 sigma bond, 1 pi bond. Bond angle is 120 degrees and orientation is planar. Now sp, 1 s orbital, 1 p orbital, and 50 s character, p character 50. And here 2 sigma bonds, 2 pi bonds, and 180 degrees, and orientation is linear. So three types of hybridization: orbitals involved, percentage of character of orbitals, nature of bonds, bond angle, and orientation we are given clearly. And this will come in chemical bonding also, same concept. So now if the percentage of s character increases, that lowers the energy of orbitals. Percentage of s character increases, that lowers the energy of orbitals. If energy of orbitals increases, that is closer to the nucleus. So concept here, relation I am writing here: percentage of s character is inversely proportional to energy of orbitals. And next concept, order of the size of orbitals. Order of size of the orbitals is given as p is greater than sp3, sp2, sp, and s. This is the size of order of size of the orbitals. And if the change in hybridization affects the electronegativity of carbon. Change in hybridization affects the electronegativity of carbon. So how it affects? Change in hybridization affects the electronegativity of carbon. So electronegativity carbon and hybridization, how it has relation I am writing here: percentage of s character is inversely proportional to electronegativity of carbon. So electronegativity order of carbon I am giving here: sp carbon is greater than sp2 carbon is greater than sp3 carbon, because in sp s character is 50, s character is 50, so it is not inversely, it is directly proportional. So it is directly proportional on the electronegativity of carbon. So here s character is 50, that is greater than sp2, here 33.3%, here 25%. So if s character increases, electronegativity of carbon increases.